Hello everyone, my name is Ian. Welcome to my hobby YouTube channel in brief book reviews. Today I'd like to give a review to a book that I read about 3 or 4 years ago called Win or Learn by John Kavanagh. The book was released on the Penguin publishers, and I understand that it's a #1 bestseller. It's about 300 pages long, maybe less, maybe more, but it's in and around that mark. It's one of those books again I found, and I don't really have a particular fascination with mixed martial arts, that when you put it down, when you finish reading it, you're kind of sad to see it finished because it was such a good book. You wanted to go on a little bit more. So John takes it through the journey of when he was a child, just in brief, in segments. What was like for him growing up as a kid. He then takes you into the journey of having a keen interest to observing fighting and picking up magazines and stuff and learning about all these different fighters and that across the globe. And he then discusses and talks about his really wanting, his need to make a career out of wanting to teach people or wanting to learn about more and more about mixed martial arts. He talks about his time in getting certain belts and stuff also, and up until his preparation for Conor McGregor, his #1 asset at the Straight Blast gym, making his debut bouts and stuff like that. He then at the end talks about his his kind of attitude towards the safety of his fighters, having seen Conor lose his one of his first bouts in the UFC against a fight called Nate Diaz, which he avenged in the end in the rematch. So it leads you up until then. One of the most poignant moments in the book was right at the start, where he talks about being attacked by a group of lads when he's with his girlfriend, and what he kind of felt like the shame or the embarrassment of having been picked on and made a fool of in front of a female like that. So he got at it the right way. He wanted to learn how to defend himself, so that he would never be in that position again. And I think that's very familiar for a lot of young men who go through or may have gone through those situations as kids growing up. There's a lot of bullying goes on and stuff, and the reason why a lot of fighters become fighters, boxers become boxers, it's basically to self-defend. It's become more fashionable to use MMA now with the UFC being so mainstream, and as well with boxing and that. Well, you wouldn't have to kind of beat someone up. You just kind of a couple of moves and you might be able to choke them out and stuff and like that. So it's come very fashionable. So the the book would have a lot of appeal to people who are interested in MMA and stuff. I found the book a really good read. I really did, and I think the nostalgia of the was at the end when he realized, he realized that through all the hard work that he's done, and he went through the run of things and that, and uh, I think we should be very grateful for him giving us the knowledge in the sense of letting us know how his journey was, because a lot of coaches don't really talk about their journey, and it's interesting to know, because I've always said, having observed Conor McGregor's career, that if there wasn't any John Kavanagh, there might not be any Conor McGregor, and so forth and so on. So as Conor quite rightly put it on the front of the book, John Kavanagh is a phenomenal man, and you can see uh, about reading the book that he is a very admirable guy, in his attitude towards life. And I think reading the book, he has that personality. I could only presume that he would have the personality of someone who is a very positive thinker, always sees the sunny side up, and doesn't let any negativity or fallbacks ruin the you know his prosperity going forward and his chances going forward. So all in all, I thought it was a fantastic book, and I recommend it to anyone. It's a fantastic read, it really is. And I think it's only I think I don't know what I paid for it at the time. I think it was about 13-14 euros at the time, but I think you can get it for €5 or €6 now on Google Books, so ebook. So there's one for you to read if you want to. You don't even have to be into MMA to really like this and that. I'm not really. I do follow bits of it, but I wouldn't be strung out on MMA. So yeah, you wouldn't have to be into it to enjoy it. So that's my review for the day. Try and keep it under 6 minutes, and hope you're all well. Take care. Have a good day.